This is Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group. You are the broker.com and Home Care Access. My pronouns are slim and sexy because I self-identify as a 6'4", 220-pound, 21-year-old Olympic athlete in my prime. I am in peak physical performance. I know that my identification might be confusing some of you, as previously I had been a 65-year-old gay, transgender, black female, but I'm not feeling that right now. So I mentioned all that because sadly, Craig from California has sent us a very disheartening and disappointing email. Craig had said that he does not know what is bigger, my ego or my fat head. And he encouraged me to stay the F-U-C-K out of politics because I don't know what the F-U-C-K I am talking about. So, Craig from California, I'm very disappointed and disheartened by your size-phobic comments, because I'm young, 21. I tend to be very self-conscious about my body. I'm 220 pounds. I self-identify as 220 pounds, but I'd like to lose about another 5 pounds, so I'm very much self-conscious about my body weight. So, you know, Craig, your comments, they're just, your size phobia is very disappointing. I thought as a society, we were long since past these phobias. And it's just, your size phobia hurts, Craig. Your size phobia hurts. Working through it. But thank you, Craig. I'm going to take your advice, and I'm going to stay the F-U-C-K out of politics. So for those of you watching this video, I hope you pay close attention, because I'm not going to talk any politics. Craig, like the great Paula, who says,
forget his political views and all that. If you can get past that, man.
Past my politics. Well, I'm just going to ask questions. So, Craig from California, I'm just going to ask questions because I'm going to stay the F-U-C-K out of politics. So let me ask you this, Craig. Let me ask you this. In California, they just passed their intentions to ban gas-powered cars. The Great Satan, the combustion engine, is the Great Satan. So in the communist state of Cali, Craig, they're going to be banning gas-powered, fuel-powered cars by the year 2035. So you got to have EVs, electric vehicles, by 2035. Everything is going to be electric vehicles. We're not even going to talk about or go down the rabbit hole of where and how do they get energy for all these electric power stations. Not even going to go down that rabbit hole, because Craig, you are a man of wisdom and discernment, and you know better than I do, and I am going to follow your directive to stay the F-U-C-K out of politics. You've convinced me. So, question: what does your business look like as you near 2035? How does something like this, where politicians, I know I've always said before that politics directly affect policy, which directly affects your money. How does something like the politicians making that policy affect your money? I'm simply asking questions for a friend. Craig, I'm staying out of politics because you told me to stay the FUCK out of politics. I'm simply asking for a friend. For those of you new to this channel, obviously you know who I am now and you know my pronouns. For those of you new to this channel, a lot of people like Craig want me to stay the FUCK out of politics so we could focus on medical transportation or home care or broker or whatever we want. So I'm going to stay on point and talk about business. So politics directly affects policy, which directly affects your money, but I have to stay out of politics, so I can't speak to anything. I'm simply asking questions. The politicians have passed policies. How's that going to affect your money? If by 2035 in your communist state, Craig, you cannot have any vehicle other than an electric vehicle, what does that look like for your business? We don't even need to talk about cost, especially because of all the gurus out there who are making some of the just utterly stupidest suggestions, giving the most incredible, naive, I would even argue somewhat dangerous advice because it's costing people a lot of money. I'm just going to ask questions. I'm not even going to give advice. They could steal our stuff. I'm just going to simply ask questions. So, Craig from the communist state of California, what does your business look like? Politicians pass the policy. What's it look like for your business? What's the life cycle look like for your business? Ooh, what is the life cycle? How do we quantify? How do we measure? What are the metrics for the life cycle? What are the gurus out there? What are all the gurus? What are all the gurus from the groups out there? What do they say? Come on. Come on. Where you all at? Come on, let's ask these questions. I got a client provider out in California. Spoke to her on the phone the other day. She had a driver last year, did not have a previous medical condition, had a seizure while driving not only a passenger, but also I believe it was her son. Either way, there was another person on board. I think it was her son. The driver had a seizure, which led to an accident. The driver died. Now, there's no record, at least at this point in time, of a previous medical condition. So we could argue this whole thing is a fluke. Let's ask all the gurus who are giving all this top shelf advice. Go start your business with a $3,500 vehicle. Go start your business. Here's how you get your contracts. Here's how you here get this software over here. This is how you do it. The software is going to help you get the contract. What do the gurus say? If you're considering listening to these people, I want you to think about these scenarios and ask yourself, can they answer these questions? So my client provider, been working with her for many, many years. Great girl, doing well, works hard, great opportunities ahead of her. Has this accident last year, just got notified almost a year later of this lawsuit. Question: what would you do? What that guru who's in your little social groups, your freebie experts? Tell me, what do the freebie experts? How would they advise you? What would be the first thing they would tell you to do? What would you do? I can't believe this just happened. Call my freebie expert. What's my freebie expert? Hey, freebie expert, what do you say? What and how would your freebie expert handle a situation like this? What would the freebie expert say you should do? Who's the first person you should contact? What do you do? How do you mitigate and limit the liability, the exposure to liability? What should you do to your business after being notified of this lawsuit? What should you not do? What should you not do? There's a lot of things you should not do. What other actions do you take after the lawsuit? You've been notified of this lawsuit. Oh, well, these are easy questions to answer, says the freebie expert. Just turn it over to insurance. Right. We know we're in a litigious society. $1 million policy. You think they're not going to come for more? Then what do you do? What do you do? What do the freebie experts say? What would they recommend? Well, I decided to document. I decided to document on paper what you should do. I'm going to have my media guy post that, so you should be looking at that momentarily. I'm going to have him post that, so as I'm talking right now, you can see and read for yourself what steps you should take if you are in a similar situation, i.e., the driver's involved in an accident, now this client provider, her driver actually ended up passing away. She passed away. The passenger, she had some injuries, went to the hospital. The son had some injuries, I think to the ribs or something like that, but he was sitting in the back. He was discharged rather quickly, so nothing too serious. But regardless, we know we're in a litigious society. Who's at fault? What are the liability? What happens when it exceeds the limits of liability of your insurance? What do you do? Now, I know what many of you are thinking as you look at this. You're saying, wait a minute, I can't read all this. I apologize, because of the nature of this information and the advice and the content. I had to redact. I had to redact a lot of key information, a lot of sensitive information. I had to redact that because, just like the FBI, again, I'm staying out of politics because I am listening to Craig. Craig from Cali told me to stay the F-U-C-K out of politics, so I am staying out of politics. I'm not going to get involved in politics, so further reason of why I had to redact this information of what you should do under such circumstances. I had to redact this so the freebie experts don't get it. Similar to the affidavit, the warrant to enter Mar-a-Lago. These things have to be redacted. They're national security, privacy issues. These things have to be redacted. So forgive me for that. Again, I'm just simply asking questions. So as you further consider all these just such experienced gurus who are out there, and they know so much. They know so much. Ask yourself, Mr. Guru, freebie expert, what should I do under this type of a circumstance? Also, because we're talking about Craig in communist state of California and the client provider who I just mentioned regarding her pending lawsuit now. She's from Cali. Let's keep it in the communist state of California. In a previous video, I mentioned a person who thinks that their business is worth $2.5 million, and they brought in ballpark of $400,000. Brought in the ballpark of $400,000. I think they were in year 3 of their business, and somehow one of the freebie experts, the gurus, has suggested to them, I don't know how or what, that their business was worth $2.5 million. In which case, again, I haven't looked at their information, only what they responded to in an email, which was partial. Which, by the way, let me be clear. If you want us to even consider you, if you want to consider our enlisting our help, a relationship is a two-way street. You may want our help, but we've got to also want to help you. If we send you information, whether it's something as simple as a questionnaire, you retain my services for one-on-one, and I send you a questionnaire, I fully anticipate and expect that you're going to complete everything I send you. If you pick and choose and you're selective, I'm not going to answer this, I'm not going to answer that, it gives me no desire to want to work with you. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you contact us with the initial inquiry, you're interested in possibly partnering with us to help find you a buyer or a seller, and we send you some questions, and you selectively choose what you want to answer, when you don't get a response, you probably don't need to ask why. Just say to yourself, okay, you know what? They sent me a bunch of questions. I didn't answer them. I was selective. They probably just dropped me. Because I'm telling you right now, that's what happens. A, we're too busy. B, not only are we too busy, you're creating more work for us. We're not going to play a guessing game. And I apologize. I know that doesn't sound very welcoming. Might be a little quasi, too much male toxicity there. I'm not sure. I'm trying to tone down the male toxicity, especially since I've come down and reduced my body weight down to 220. I'm still trying to lose another 5 pounds. So I can compete at a higher level in the Olympics. Going for the gold, ladies and gentlemen, going for the gold. So please, if you correspond with us and we ask you questions, we greatly appreciate it if you would respond in detail to everything we ask you, because I can assure you, we're not trying to waste our time, and we certainly aren't trying to create more work for us. So if we ask you something, it's probably because it's purposeful. If I asked it, it's definitely purposeful, because I want to know for a reason. But if my peeps did, I'm going to co-sign and stand by my peeps. They probably asked for a reason. They either want to know themselves, or they think that's something that I might need to know. So if we are in correspondence with each other, please respond whenever we ask you. But in going back to if you're going to be partnering with our freebie experts and our gurus, what questions do you ask? Can that freebie expert help you position your business for a sale? Do you have confidence that if this freebie expert can help position you for a sale, do you have the confidence they can best position you to get the highest ROI, the greatest multiple? I don't know. I have taken the liberty, it's not long, but it is a short, pithy, and to the point checklist. I'm gonna have my video guy posted to this video, so as you're watching this, I'm sure you're gonna be able to start to read through some of the key points, some of the key questions and considerations you should have when it comes to considering selling your business. So as I'm talking, continue to read through some of those. But again, the key thing and the reason why I'm making this video, not only to further make you understand who I am at this point in time, because again, I've re-identified myself. I also want to share some of these key points with you. Again, I apologize. I'm sure by now you've noticed that we've had to redact for security purposes. We've had to redact much of that information regarding the things to consider and the questions to be asking your freebie guru when it comes to positioning your business for a sale. But again, for security purposes, I've had to redact those things because I cannot afford to have that information fall into the hands of all those gurus, all those freebie experts. But I trust you guys understand I am completely staying out of politics whatsoever. I'm not going to go down those rabbit holes because Craig has encouraged me. He's instructed me. He's made it very clear. I need to stay the F-U-C-K out of politics. So, anyways, folks, here's what I need you to do. The purpose of this video, ask the hard questions. Ask the hard questions. You're going to be moving forward, starting your NEMT, your home care business. You're going to start your broker business. That's great. We just brought on a couple new licensees. Excited for them. Interesting time. We are interesting time right now because of all these supply chain issues. They're opening up new opportunities, and we see new and unique opportunities based on different local dynamics. You know, things are different everywhere. That's for sure. I mean, what's happening in Florida, great state, love you, Florida. You are the beacon of the country right now. Florida is different than Cali, different than Washington, Kansas, and Massachusetts, and every state in between. So, unique opportunities everywhere. Make sure whoever you partner with, you have the utmost confidence that they can help you not just get started. Getting started is easy. Come on. Anyone can do that. Yeah, especially right now. You go ask all these slappy pappy gurus in their free chat rooms. That's easy peasy. File this, file that, whatevs. The questions are: do you have the confidence? Can they help you grow and scale? Can they help you develop an effective exit strategy? If there is a situation, if there's a lawsuit, can they help advise you properly? Look, I'm not an attorney. I'm not an accountant. But I'll tell you what, I'm good. And there's a reason why I get, in many cases, I'm actively involved in the discussions and negotiations, not just with my client providers, but also with their attorneys and their accountants. There's many reasons why. You could be a great CPA. That doesn't mean that you're astute and knowledgeable for what to do with an NEMT business or a home care business, broker business. You could be an outstanding attorney. Not all attorneys are the same. Let me assure you of that. Not all attorneys are the same. Just because you're a good attorney does not mean you are an expert when it comes to NEMT, home care, broker, or any business you're in. They don't know the industry. They may know some of the legalities. They may know answers to some of the if-then questions, but they don't know how to best structure and move your business forward. So can they help you get started? Can they help you grow and scale? Can they help you develop an effective exit strategy? And can the gurus, can they help you if and when there is an issue? How do you mitigate the issues to limit your exposure? What do? You just got notified for a year later. My client provider got notified a year later. She thought it was a done dead issue. A year later, she gets notified. The driver, dead and gone. There you go. You lost that witness. What do you do? It's a unique circumstance. So can those gurus help you in those situations? So ask the hard questions. Ask the hard questions, and please, for the love of God, be more considerate. Be more considerate. Don't be size phobic. Please don't be size phobic. There are robust people with a robust body, and they need love, compassion, and understanding. They have feelings too. So please don't be size phobic. And if you don't remain size phobic, there's only one thing I can do. See you at the top.
Let's go, Brandon. Hey. Let's go, Brandon. Hey. Let's go.